All right, welcome back to Primarily Speaking. What it do, what it do. I am your host with the most, man with the mask, Mr. Popping Two Quarters. Let me get in that ass. It's your boy Prime in the building.
And I am the total package Rex Devereaux. Doing it big, right the other day. Once again, we back on again, and we got our dog with us once again, one of the weekends.
That's right, baby. Hannibal Vanderbilt back in the building, giving you nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and that's it, baby.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Welcome back to Primarily Speaking, everybody, man. Hey, before we start the show, I wanted to take a quick second to kind of restate what the show kind of is about. You know what I mean? Because somebody asked me, well, what's your show about? I'm like, oh shit. let me explain. It's really, the show is about conversation, right? Because I meet a lot of people, and not just meeting people, but just the people I hang with. We have great conversations, man. We be talking about all kind of crazy shit, serious shit, funny shit, nonsensical shit. But we have real good conversations, and I'd be wondering, damn, I should share this with other people. Like, I wish somebody else could have 2 cents to chime in on this. So I wanted to do a podcast having those conversations, man, and that's really what it's about. We talk about everything. There's nothing off limits when it comes to topics to us. This is not a sports show, comedy show. This is strictly for conversation and entertainment. So for those that don't know, now your ass know. How y'all boy week been? What's been going on?
Shit, everything been good, man. You know what I'm saying? Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Happy Memorial Day to all the fallen soldiers.
That's right. Rest in paradise for my fallen brothers. And just been chilling, man. I cannot wait till Friday. Finally get this thing retwisted. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody getting cleaned up.
Finally.
Ain't gonna be nothing like when this get retwisted. I'm gonna be back in the game, baby. Put me in the game, coach. You wanna win, put Booby in.
I know that all too well. I finally had to go get this thing chopped up, boy. Your boy looking clean out there now, boy. Looking clean, boy.
Whatever, man. Y'all really had to bring that up, huh?
I feel like I ain't seen my lip in months, man.
Y'all really had to bring that shit up, huh?
Hey,
we talked about this even before we get on, and y'all still brought it up.
Just because you Willie Mammoth over there now.
I mean,
don't knock everybody else.
There's no proof of that. Nobody can see me right now. It's all good.
Nigga, I know what you look like.
Go ahead and pull it up, man.
Like,
no, that's all right. My button ain't working. How about that?
Button ain't working? Oh, okay. That's what it is.
Yeah, man, but I had a pretty good week, Prime. Spanked Hannibal on some speeds this weekend. He went.
I heard it was a nice little sports speeds war going on.
It went down. It went down in a mean
that's
way.
How you can tell when people not used to winning.
What?
When they finally beat you, man, they just want to talk all the noise. They want to talk it all the time.
But you know the thing about it, even when I post that thing, I ain't saying no names. All I said was Speeds 403. And not everybody, but 2 people in particular had everything.
I saw the Speeds 403. I've been thinking you want to play Speeds. I know y'all boy already played.
Yeah, we had done dig them boy out though.
Yeah.
Man, whatever, man.
So that been the highlight of my week, man, Prime. I mean, I can't even lie, because with all the things that have been going on, this week, it's been kind of downer, man,
It was, man. We'll get to that stuff. We got some real serious shit we're gonna talk about as far as that goes.
Yeah.
We're gonna say that part for the other half. This week for me, man. This week has been pretty, coasting. We had Memorial Day weekend. I had my first visitors in like months. My mom came over. We grilled out and stuff like that. But I had nobody else in this house but my immediate family in months. So it was interesting.
Wait, hold on. Now I asked you to come see you a couple of weeks ago, and you tell me flat out, no, you can't come yet, bro.
Yeah, that was it. My don't worry, my mama asked. I tell her no too. Don't feel left out.
You thought you wasn't special, huh?
You shut it down. He was like, nah.
Nobody could come over here. Shit, not a damn soul could come here, man.
But that's how serious that shit is, man. I mean, we done surpassed 100,000 deaths, man. Right now as we speak.
The mass, man.
Yeah,
weighing my
sad.
shit. I be weighing my shit, man. But I had a funny encounter at the grocery store the other day. I went to the store and had my mask on and everything. I went to the produce sections. I had to get some stuff for the rabbit. And the dude who been handling the produce been standing right in front of the romaine lettuce that I need. And so I'm like, excuse me, man, can I get there? He been like, oh yeah, man, you fine. You got on that mask, man. You can get anything you want, man. You good. As long as you got that mask on, you fine with me. And right when I've been walking up, there was a lady behind him. And as I've been bending down to get the lettuce, I heard the lady ask him something. Now, she ain't had on no mask. And without hesitation, when she asked him with something in that, he was like, oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. Sorry, I can't. He was like, no, I don't know.
I don't know. Please get off my face.
He was so serious about not interacting with nobody that you had a mask, he was not interacting with your ass. That shit was funny as hell.
Damn.
That's how it is right now, man. That's the new norm.
Serious out here, man. You can't be playing with people like that.
No, you can't. Not at all.
At all times.
But yeah, it's been a decent week, man. Nothing really major to talk about. Once again, happy Memorial Day to all. Well, I guess they can't hear us, but to all, salute to all the fallen soldiers for Memorial Day. We appreciate your sacrifice for real.
No doubt.
It's funny. I know you said you were happy that ain't nobody tag you in a happy Memorial thing. Is that is it disrespectful to tell a living veteran happy Memorial Day?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still here, man. I'm still here. All right, I'm still here.
And as soon as I saw that, I've been like, oh yeah, you ain't supposed to do that. Come on now. There's certain etiquette.
Always get tagged.
You supposed to know
Memorial Day.
Right. Like, no, I'm still here. I ain't dead.
Little known fact, Memorial Day started in Charleston, South Carolina. Did you know that?
Man, a lot of stuff started right here in Charleston, South Carolina.
A lot of stuff. It was for the fallen soldiers, the black soldiers from the Civil War. They were all dumped into a mass grave, and the people dug them up and brought them back to Charleston. I don't know if they was from there or not, but they brought them to Charleston and had a proper burial for them. And that was considered the first official Memorial Day. And it wasn't on the last Monday. I forget what date it was specifically, but that's when Memorial Day started, man. Charleston got some deep history, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, Charleston, if you ever take a African American history class, I suggest everyone take one. I guarantee you, Charleston come up in that African American history studies a lot.
We better. Shit. We better.
Well, you gotta think, man, this was one of the Meccas. This was you know what I'm saying? This was the port. Right here.
This is the main Mecca. This is the main port, dog, where they dropped the slaves off at, right here in Charleston.
This is Virginia.
Yep, I think they say like 70% came here, 60 or 70%.
Right here in Charlestown Landing. Yeah, right there. Remember where they used to take us on field trips and shit, Prime? Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to work at the same market where they were selling the slaves at. Ironically speaking, I worked there when I was in middle school. I used to work there. Yeah. That was a good time, man. That was a good time. But anyway, moving on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, y'all boy. We're going to have some quick headlines. We ain't going to take too much time on all this stuff. But, Hannibal, you mentioned, I did not see the headline, but you had mentioned about the NBA and the playoff quandary that they're trying to figure out with the playoffs. What's up with that? What's going on?
Yeah, man. I was reading on ESPN the other day, and what it was saying that the problem, everybody wanted, not everybody, but most wanted to come back, wanted to play the games, want to finish out the season, because they want to have a champion for this season.
Right.
So, but the issue is they've only played 67 games. They were saying since maybe because players have been out for so long, maybe they want them to go ahead and play 5 more games, to get them up to speed.
Get them to 72?
Yeah.
But that's only 15 games.
Yeah, some owners want to go straight into a playoff. A lot of the owners want to have like a playoff play-in. Mm-hmm. And that's where you get, that's where that get dangerous, because you can have a team that wasn't playing that good or they didn't have a good record, like a team for the Atlanta Hawks. They young,
Yeah.
and then they didn't get a lot of chemistry with Clinton Capella when he came in. Man, they could, they get that thing rolling. You never know who they knock off that should have been there. And you got older teams that want to get, they got older teams that want to get into, grooves and get back how they going, like the Lakers and the Clippers.
Yeah, like the Lakers.
Right.
Like the Lakers.
Boy, they're
yeah.
jelly.
Yeah.
No, like the Lakers and the Clippers, because those teams got a lot of new additions, but those teams had just started gelling as the season was going on, so their chemistry was mixed up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rex,
but
what you got to say?
They ain't pushing it that hard because of that. They pushing it hard because they're trying to push the Lakers, and they're trying to get the most money they can get out of this falling season. That's what it is. They ain't got no reason to send most of them dudes out there, whatever, because you got to look at it like this. A lot of them dudes got families. If you're going to play a season like that, the playoffs alone going to take them from their families for at least 2 months. At least 2 months. And then, even if they don't get infected, which is a huge chance they might get infected, they're going to take that shit back home. So you got to look at all that, too. Dame Lillard was talking some sense today, and he was like, if I ain't got no chance to make the playoffs or whatever, you don't need me to finish this out. We going to Cancun until next season.
This the thing about that, though. Them guys want to play.
Not all of them, though. Not all of them. That's the big thing.
A majority of the players want to play. They had a panel. They had LeBron, Kawhi, Dame was on there, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, and when I think in the article it said that all of them said that they want to play the playoffs.
Yeah, because they got a stake in that. First off, their team's already in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree that it should just go to a playoff. Now, if you want to have a couple exhibition games, you know what I'm saying, so everybody get their chemistry back.
No, my thing is, I get what you're saying, Rex, about the taking too much chances and stuff. However, there's only 15 games left in the season, and you sign up to play 82 games already. I get the pandemic and everything going on. If they can make it safe enough for you to play, then I think you should give the fans something. Give the fans something, because the fans are fiending for some basketball, some sports and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
like that bullshit golf thing with Tiger and Tom Brady and all of them.
That's totally all that.
Yeah, they just don't be in one location.
But see, they can do that with golf because that's an open area. In the NBA, they play in arenas. How can you make it safe enough? Because
they
hold up. You can't only account for the players. You got to account for the staff, the people running the building, and everybody else.
So,
You're gonna have at least 80 to 100 people in that building at one time. So how's
that different from going to Walmart? Walmart got a lot of people in there.
It's not. They taking a chance too. They taking a bad chance too.
Yeah, they taking a chance, but check this out though. It's only at one location, bro.
Disney World, right?
Yeah, that's it. One location.
I say give the fans something, man. I say the fans need something. Give the fans something. 2 or 3,
you keep
5
saying,
games, something like that.
You keep saying the fans already getting the playoffs, even if they do that. If you put them at one location, okay, so everybody in the playoffs playing at one location.
Yeah.
Right? So you can multiply that. They're in one building. That means, and I'm going to just count the players on the team. That's at least 15 players, 30 players per team per day in that building at one time.
They're going to do testing. They're supposed to do testing on every team that come into the playoffs, on all the players and all the staff. They're supposed to do testing on those guys, get the testing done. The one comes back positive, they have the playoff. That's what they're talking about.
But testing don't make you immune, though.
But if you already know you're going to be there.
Everybody that is there, that is tested, they're at that one location. What they're worried about is those players that say, or whoever staff or players that say, I don't feel like I want to be here. I want to go out into town. You know what I'm saying? I want to go out here and mingle with the people.
Exactly,
much.
and that's the
that's
danger
what
right there because you know you're gonna have somebody, at least one person that gonna do some idiotic shit like that.
That's possible.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
think
That's why
they
you
should
can. That's
have a
why you
few.
But they're
cannot
I think they
jeopardize
should have a
that.
few games before the playoffs. One to knock the dust off, and two to give the fans a little something, man.
You already got the first
just to
round
wet
of
the
the
palate,
playoffs.
man. Just to
You
wet the
already got
palate.
but you already got the first round of the playoffs to get the dust off. You don't need no extra games.
And
And if you
that ain't
just
the
going
time
straight
to
to the
knock the dust
playoffs,
off in the playoffs. You need to
yeah,
be
but if
ready
you
in the playoffs.
okay, I understand that. But if you're going straight to the playoffs, or they just starting straight in the playoffs, only playoff teams run the dust off.
I mean, how your first game back gonna be the playoffs? You don't
Because
come
that's
back
how it
from
is
summer
right now.
vacation. You don't come back from summer vacation and jump straight into the league. You have preseason games before you get ready for the regular season. Why can't
The NBA preseason games don't play out like that. The NBA preseason games ain't like the NFL. It's totally different. You barely see stars playing or whatever. They already know what time it is. Dudes like LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and all them older fellas, man, they done had all this time to rest. They know what time it is. That's why they won't go out there and play.
Yeah, but they ain't the
know
only one playing.
It ain't just about that. It's
exactly,
about,
exactly. They ain't the only one. They ain't the only ones playing, but it's predicated on them. That's a kind when Lundy open up. That's them the first names he named because they the one with the whole weight. Other dudes that really kind of on the fence or really don't want to play at all.
No, that's not why. That's not why I
doubt.
mentioned their name. I mentioned their name because that's who they were on the phone call with.
But that's why I'm saying they're the major stars, dog. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, but
you don't want to hear from John
day,
Collins or nothing like that or
at
whatever.
the end of the day, you can stay at home and you can shoot that. You can shoot a ball all you want to. You're gonna have to get used to playing against you're gonna have to get your body used to being in that basketball shape. You can go and work out all day, but when you get on that court, it's something about a whole nother rhythm that you're gonna need. Them jump shots ain't gonna be falling like they used to. Because what if you take that player who was then in the rhythm, now he can't find his shot to save his fucking life. So
Tough
what you gonna do about it? That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about.
They don't have to play the other 15, but they can play 3 games or something like that. And you can only only count the teams, only use the teams that's going to the playoffs. Don't all the teams that
that's what I say.
Leave them out of it. Leave them out of it. Only.
Well, I think they were doing the play-in because some of those teams' records were so close that they don't know how the rest of the season would have played out for those teams. Like one team might have been in the 8th seed, but they might have been falling, and it been a team that is in the 9th seed that been trending upward. So how you know saying how do you determine that then?
That's tough. Because right now, if you start the season back, guess what? You still in 9th place, and that team in 8th place. That team is playoff bound. You're not. You have to deal with that, dog.
I guess at the end of the day, we'll find out. Because I think they said, I think Silver said that he may not have an answer about this Friday. But I don't know when they have.
I think they were saying like 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks or something like that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that play out.
Yeah.
Next thing I wanted to jump on real quick is y'all see Trump wanting the North Carolina governor to guarantee full capacity or full attendance for the RNC coming in August. Which is funny because there's a federal mandate that no more than 10% is allowed in places at one time, but he's requiring full capacity. What the fuck is wrong with this dude, man? What's fucking wrong with y'all president, man?
Because he know he gonna get one stupid ass governor to do that shit.
The people don't want him to do it. They don't want the governor to do it. From what I understand,
the governor been sticking to his guns so far. So
he should.
Man, please, man.
He should.
Trump be bending them dudes over like rubber bands, man. That shit don't make no sense. And I'm surprised that dude stood up, you know. But
hey, Riggs, I gotta give Trump one of these for that dumb shit.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm working on my sound effects. I'm working on it. But man, I don't get it. Like you the president, you represent a federal standpoint, and you want to go against what you telling everybody else that they should be doing. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
because you responding like a rational human being, which he is not. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing about he just totally off the charts, dog. I mean,
Silly.
I don't even know what to say about that dude no more.
That
Now.
shit silly, man. That shit, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with that dude, man?
He's an idiot. Everything about him all for show, you know.
It is. It's always the Dog and Pony Show with Buddy.
Yeah.
I heard, I read a little headline about a strip club in Portland, Oregon called the Lucky Devil that has a drive-through. A drive-through strip club now, boy.
How does this work? I gotta know.
Well, what it is they selling food, right? So according to the owner, he was like, as soon on March 17th, the day after they had the nationwide thing, he shut everything down. He said, we're gonna keep the kitchen open, and they were selling food and everything. But then he was like, he wanted to do some entertainment stuff, so he had the girls. They can't be nude, but they still wear masks, they still wear gloves, but they do a little tease, little dance or whatever as cars drive through the parking lot. Pick up their food.
No.
And they got a tip. They have a tip can out there right outside where they pick the food up so they can drop tips in for the girls to make money.
No, dog. I can't co-sign that. No,
I'm cool. I'm cool with seeing some titties, some ass. But
you ain't gonna see no titties and ass now. You gonna see shirts.
Yeah.
That's what you gonna see.
I'm down to see a little twerking here and there. But
that's creative, right? That's creative, right? You gotta give them.
No. I ain't even gonna let y'all do that shit. Fuck that. No, it's not creative. It's not creative at all. And if any idiot, that's like them idiots that remember a little while ago when them girls were doing the video and shit, and dudes been throwing money at the video and shit. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that? Prime probably. You see that shit, dog.
What
happened? Had the girls twerking on video, like on some Zoom shit like this, and the dudes been throwing money at the video.
No, not doing that.
No,
I mean, you ain't paying no money. You get to pick your money up, so I guess.
Right. I mean, so what are we doing here? That's what I want to know nowadays.
Well, me personally, I'm not a big strip club person, so to me, I don't really give a fuck. But
bro, I would not go there.
No, I wouldn't either.
No,
not at all. I mean,
I barely go to the strip club, dog.
No real action. Yeah, I mean, the strip club's a turn off, man. I mean,
I'm just not a big strip club dude, but you know what I mean.
I go there for it's nothing like, you know what I'm saying, seeing a girl up there get up there and do her thing. There's really doing her thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like have one come out to that big crit Blue Flame Ballet, you know what I'm saying?
You sound like somebody that's frequent these places.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
sounds like a pro.
The song jam, dog. The song jam.
Sounds like an absolute pro.
I just thought that shit was hilarious, man. When I saw that headline, man.
I wouldn't go there.
Hey, tell me.
I gotta be there.
I want to know. Well, this next thing is the little Susu game. That's what I understand is called Susu game. That originated in Africa. It actually originated in Africa, but it's like people know this game. It's like a potluck type thing that is good. I think is good amongst friends or a core group of people. But basically, people don't like it. I see it on my page, but people don't like it because they say it's a Ponzi scheme. And I understand why people think that and why they look at it as a Ponzi scheme. But you have to change your frame of mind of how you're looking at it, because as long as you're working with the right group of people, it's going to work out for everybody involved. It's just, working with strangers can be a little difficult, but the way it works is that people, you have this thing called a flower or whatever the board is, and you put in $100. Everybody that joins put in $100, and whoever's in the middle is the person that receives all the money. Once you receive, I think it's 8 times whatever the buy-in is. Whatever 8 times the buy-in is. Once you get to that amount, then you move out of the way and you let somebody else get into the middle, and then that person will receive all the money that comes in for the people that join in, and it just keeps on cycling. And I've known a few people that have went through it. They've cashed out on several of those flowers. and they keeping it going. And they range from as low as $50 as a buy-in, $100, $500 as a buy-in. But I think it's a good way as far as if you got a core group of people that you want to deal with, work with. You can really circulate money amongst your own community very well. I think so, in my opinion. That's how I look at it. What y'all think about this game? I think I know what you gonna say, Hannibal. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Okay, well then let Hannibal go first then, because I have questions.
I just don't trust people in money that much, though. I can't, though, because it seems like the person in the middle off the rip gonna run off on the plug twice, though. I mean, for real, just think about it. That's just too much, though. I don't trust. If you're gonna do something like that, I just feel like it should only be done with immediate family. And hell, my family good. You know what I'm saying? Just from the upbringing and how everything works. I still don't trust them that much because you run off on me.
Exactly.
Like what? I mean, I'm just saying, like what? But I don't know. Maybe if it was something that was in the household and it was a way like this month, boom, 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 and then we go next month. Oh, it's your turn. Everybody.
That's how it started. It started with just a group of people saying, all right, they put money in the pool. Whoever needs that money, they get it that week. And then next week, everybody put money in the pool. Whoever needs the money for that week, then that person, and it rotates amongst all the members of that group. And then it just kind of mutated into different little versions. But that's how it started out. I still think it's good. Rex, you see, you had a question.
Okay, yeah. First question. Since you said that last part, what if multiple people need the money that week?
It don't work like that. Only one person can cash out, and also once the way that the flower thing works, once it's filled out, whoever's in the middle got to move. They got to get out. They out, so they can't continue to get the money. Somebody else got to move in and start collecting money at that point. But the key to it is that once it fills out, it splits in half because the people that are already there have already paid money. So it splits in half to create open slots so that other people can join in and add money to the pot or the money.
See, that's the part that get me. That just seem like, nah, fuck that.
But, you know, it's more so if you got some disposable income that you don't mind playing. It's like investing.
Right,
you invest some money.
Exactly,
if you got some money that you can invest and you don't need back immediately, then it's a good deal. But it also depends on having reliable people to join, and you don't want to invite, you know, Joe Schmo that ain't really going to participate. But you know, it's all about people that
he always need $20 every Friday.
Yeah, you don't want that. You want to. You can't. No. I ain't saying put your rent money in there. You know what I mean? Just disposable income only. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. But I think it's a good thing. But
well, that just count me out right there. I'm gonna tell you
that.
A
lot of people tripping over shit.
I ain't got it. Yeah, that count me out. Hey, that's for big dogs like Prime. Prime can do that.
Wait a minute now. Hold up.
He can do that. He's the man.
Hold up.
I'm just a regular guy. I can
do it. I just don't trust nobody that much to do it, though.
Hey, sometimes you gotta take risks, man.
Yeah,
bigger the risk, bigger the reward.
And these days and times, you gotta know when to hold them. You know when to hold them. You know what I'm saying? On that shit right there, I'm gonna have to fold that, dog. If that shit work out for you, more power to you, dog. That's just not something that I'm interested in.
True and dizzle. All right, moving on. Sean King. Now y'all brought up the Sean King thing to me. Y'all told me that there's something about Sean King receiving some money, and people not sure if he's pushing it in the areas they need to go in. What's up with the Sean King thing? I don't really know a lot about it.
All right, so with me, man, Sean King, he do a lot.
Right.
He well, in the Ahmaud Arbery case, he's done a lot. In the Breonna Taylor case, you know what I'm saying?
He's been doing a lot for a while.
He's a big fog. He's a big fog
activist. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's an activist. he has a wide range of force, and I know many celebrities. But man, after reading a little bit about some of the finances, though, some of the donations, people not being able, or him not being able to account for where the money went, or for.
Wait a minute. We talking about another Madoff here? That's what we talking about?
No.
Hey,
We ain't go that far yet.
Because it's not really any proof, but man, every time it comes up, and what I was reading, like he'll say some numbers, but nothing never really checks out, and then it'll come back with some other numbers.
So let me ask you. You think he's stealing,
brother? What I just told you, dog.
You don't trust
people with money.
I don't trust nobody. Hey, all I know about Buddy is he brought a lot of attention to Ahmaud Arbery, and he brought a lot of attention to the Breonna Taylor situation.
Yeah,
he's been, you know what I'm saying, shouting about the George Floyd situation, and he all the way back to other situations, Trayvon and all the other stuff too. But it's the guy from the Black Lives Matter thing who called him out on some stuff.
D-Ray, isn't it? Nigga's name D-Ray or something like that?
D-Ray, yeah. D-Ray called him out on some stuff.
I noticed you didn't answer my question, though.
What?
You think he's stealing?
I told you that. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy on Why Did I Get Married? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying?
Rex, what do you think, Rex? What's showing your brain about this here?
So hold up. So a dude named D-Ray put Sean King out.
I don't know. He
called him out, but that's when it got everybody to looking. And those reports, it's multiple reports coming back from years. Like he's had fundraisers and they can't account for where the money went. And they got it was supposed to be the North Star.
Man, you might be tucking.
It was the North Star thing. A lot of those employees were like, wait a minute. You know, like, where is this going? And the stuff just got shut down. And it just seemed like it never got off the ground. They're like, wait a minute. They were left in the dark about what was going on.
Well, let me ask you this quick question. I'm asking you this quick question on that. In lieu of those allegations, would you still trust what he says?
As far as what?
Anything, activism, whatever he's known for, or are you going to willing to still listen to him, even though it's possible that he's stealing?
What I think of him, he's an ambulance chaser.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's bad over here. Oh, I'm finna go scream and shout about this. I can scream and shout about this situation over here, and I can build a fundraiser up, and I can lace my pocket some kind of way. Oh, it's another big situation over here. Oh, I can go scream and shout about this too. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna bring awareness, but what is his, you know what I'm saying, ulterior motives for bringing awareness? I think he's gonna bring awareness.
You didn't answer my question.
Huh?
Would you still listen and follow what he's preaching about, even though it's possible that he was stealing?
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could hear that in what he said. He don't like Sean King from the jump. So
no, I like him. I'm just holding reserve about.
You call him an ambulance chaser.
You did call him ambulance.
No. I'm saying what it seemed like. It seemed like to me. That's what when you read all the stuff, it's some pretty damning stuff, dog. Like whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to go in there like your naive way of thinking about this guy. Like, oh man, this dude doing a great job, doing all this.
Now,
all that shit comes to a halt when you get some shit like that, because it's been too many times throughout history that people have thought like, oh, Buddy ain't doing this.
Is he white or black? Or what is his ethnicity? Let me say that.
Black.
He's black?
Brother. Yeah.
Okay.
He a what?
He's a brother.
He's something.
He's something.
God damn, how you like the man and you just keep saying stuff like that, man?
No, I'm saying. No, I like to do what he be saying, but man, I'm just saying this right here is pretty damning. I can't put blind faith. I ain't never met this man. I ain't
Thank
never
you.
shook
But he
this man's
sound like
hand. I
that
don't
right
know
there.
this
Just
man,
turned your
dog.
whole opinion about him. Like,
That's what he
yeah,
sound like, bro. That's what he sound like.
You know what I'm saying? I still looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me hold my reserve on you. I don't think you bad.
you ain't
But
on no
somebody,
reserve, dog. You let both barrels go. You let both barrels
I
go.
just saying, he sound like that, bro. It sound like that. That's all.
I don't think you're bad, but the shit pretty damning. They out here calling the man the Mayo King, dog. They killing
The
it.
Mayo King.
They killing it, dog. They got all kind of nicknames for this dude, man.
That's funny.
They killing it, man.
That's funny. All right, so now that whole thing about the Shaun King being an activist and activism leads me, because we done with the quick headlines. We done with all that. Right. I think it's safe to say we're not sure we trust Shaun King right now. I think it's safe to say that.
Well, I mean, I still trust him. I dig him. You know, I don't know about this report or whatever. I don't know who brought this up. I don't trust nobody named D-Ray, first off. Nickname or real name.
What's wrong with D-Ray?
Man, no. I guess that's just a Rex thing, man. I can't roll with a D-Ray. How many dudes you know? How many dudes you know named D-Ray Trustworthy?
I don't know no niggas named D-Ray except
exactly,
D-Ray Davis.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
The D-Ray from Black Lives Matter, and I don't even know them. I know of them. So other than that, I don't know nobody named D-Ray.
I'm just saying, when you Rex, just go read some of the stuff, dog, you're gonna be like, wait a minute. Me personally, I think the dude doing, you know what I'm saying, a great job of sounding the alarm on some stuff. But it made me take a step back, like, okay, you sounding the alarm, but what's your ulterior motive of sounding the alarm? Okay. Are you just doing the sounding the alarm so you can lace your pockets? Or are you sounding your alarm because you genuinely care?
Yeah, you take what he's saying with a grain of salt type of thing.
Yeah, like I'm listening to what you're saying, and I like the fact that you giving me a piece of knowledge about a situation that I didn't know about. You know what I'm saying? And you're giving it to me in a clearer view than what the news is giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what is your ulterior motives? You know what I'm saying? What I'm really hoping is that money that is donated, it was really used and given to the people that really needed it.
Now, see, what that does for me is, because what I'm taking from it is that he has good intentions as far as bringing awareness to situations of activism, bringing awareness to that kind of stuff. And so what that does for me is that segues me into my next topic.
Oh, mean segue.
There you go. I did that. I did that. So everybody, I think it's safe to say just about everybody knows about this George Floyd thing going on from Minnesota. And we've been hearing a lot of stuff about this kind of thing, man. We all think about this George Floyd. First off, if you have been living under a rock and you are not aware of this George Floyd incident in Minnesota, I don't remember what the city was. But George Floyd was accused of using a forged check, and police were called to, I think it was a supermarket or some kind of store, and the police pulled him over. I think it was a traffic stop, if I'm not mistaken, and they questioned him, this, that, and the third, and then they had him. They got him out of his vehicle. They pulled him out of his vehicle. Actually, I saw a video that showed them pulling him out of his vehicle, not too roughly, but kind of still forcefully pulling him out. They handcuffed him, had him against the building. He was sitting down, laying on next to the building in the video, and then they got him up. Now, I don't know, that the video doesn't show how, after he got up, how he got from standing up to being in the street on the ground. The video doesn't show that. Exactly. I don't know what happened there. However, regardless of that, what ended up happening was the officer, I don't remember his name right now, but rested his knee on his neck. And he didn't appear to be a resistant arrest to me, from what I seen. But the officer, even though he was saying, I can't, Mr. Lloyd was saying, I can't breathe, the officer never let up. He never gave let up on any pressure at all.
Uncomfortable.
He said multiple times. I think he said like 6 to 8 times, something like that, whatever. about not being able to do it, and for 5 minutes he had his knee on that man's neck, and he died. And those, there was 4 officers there. All 4 officers have been fired, thankfully, by the
They need
Minnesota
to be arrested.
Police Department. Huh?
They need to be arrested.
They need to be arrested. They need to be
All right.
charged with murder, because I don't even for a forged check. Forged check, okay, I get it. If that's what he did, that is a crime. It is not a violent crime. And the video that I saw, he was not being a violent person. I don't understand why they felt the need to having him on the ground with their knee on his neck was necessary. I don't get to that part. I don't understand that. But regardless of all that, the man died. And they definitely need to be brought up on charges behind that. What y'all got to say? What y'all got to spill out?
No doubt about it. Listen, man, this shit is, it's so frustrating to deal with this, man. And I know a lot of brothers that I talk to just been angry all day about this shit, man. Like, for real. Like, at some point, this shit got to stop. Either they going to stop or they going to forcefully be stopped from doing this shit. Because the shit don't make no sense. Like Prime said, you know, they basically dragged the man out of his car and killed him over a forged check or something like that. First off, who the fuck called the police for a fucking forged check? You know, and then that asshole had the nerve to come out the store afterwards and talk about, I'm trying to help y'all out. And the dude be like, man, fuck you, man. Get out of here. You know, you done help enough. You see what the fuck the results are. Let me tell you something. That dude been dead at the scene. I watched that video over and over again. And to the people that keep talking about, I can't watch that, you need to fucking watch that video to get your true feelings out and let that shit sink in.
Yeah.
That been a real snuff video. They showed that white dude killing that black brother for no reason at all, just for the fact that he's black. That's it. Nobody else can tell me different than nothing. That could have been you, Prime. That could have been you, Hannibal, dog. That could have been anyone else, dog.
Anybody, man.
It's high time for that shit to stop. It could have been any of our sons, you know? It's high time for that shit to stop. The shit about, well, we don't know the whole story. You got the fucking video right there. How the fuck you mean you don't know the whole story? You see what happened. And ain't nobody lift a finger to help that man. Not one person. That shit don't make no sense, dog. And that shit need to stop.
Hell yeah. Hannibal, what you got? What's your 2 cents, man?
Man, fuck them motherfuckers, dog. This what I really want. Hey, this what I really want to start happening, man. Like, if you, it's good people just like it's bad people in the world. It's bad cops just like it's good cops. But if you just stand by and keep letting that shit go on and on and on and on, you a fucking bad cop.
Yeah, you ain't no good cop.
Damn right.
Ain't no good cop allow some shit like that to happen.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, get them weird, weak ass motherfuckers up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I agree.
Them punk ass motherfuckers who just joined the police force because they got their ass bullied in school or whatever fucking reason, or because they want to abuse power, dog, they can tell them white Aryan Nation ass motherfuckers in the that's officers. They just don't give a fuck. So when them black ass motherfuckers in there who like to treat other black people like shit, just think this: them same white motherfuckers who treat us like shit don't give 2 shits about your black ass either. Nope. So you need to start calling them out on that shit too. Cause that shit
all the asses out. I agree, man. I agree, man. My whole feeling is anger. You know, my first reaction was just anger. You know what I mean? Like, mad that shit like this just keep fucking happening. Like, there's no stopping. Like, you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel on this shit. It just keeps happening. And all the bullshit. I had put up a post. They had, I think it's 24 different incidents over the past maybe 8 years of black people being killed unnecessarily. And some of them had cops that got convicted. But for the most part, like 80-90% of those incidents, cops either weren't arrested, weren't charged, or they were acquitted. And it's like, it's clear as fucking day what happened. They abused their power. unnecessarily so, and somebody died that didn't have to die, but they get to walk away scot clean. And that shit is irritating to see over and over a fucking game.
And I'm glad you said something about the one. I don't know if you remember the story, man. I can't remember the details right now, but the officer who drugged the guy down the street.
Oh, the officer?
Yeah, or something like that. He was acquitted. I can't remember the whole details. I'm pretty fed up about the Floyd thing right now, but he was acquitted. They drug a black man down the street and killed him. He was acquitted today.
Yeah, that's super fucked up, man.
Well, on the 18th of May.
How many of them were? No, not this one. Well, I can't find the shit right now, but it was a long laundry list of people, man. I was like, damn, it was like 24 people, man, that have been murdered by cops over the past 8 years, man, 8 or 9 years on this dumb shit, man.
And you know why that list so long, cuz? Because nobody's being held accountable, though.
And on top of that, that's just what we know of. It's probably
exactly
plenty of them we never even heard of.
That you ain't gonna hear about, you know. Just another brother gone. You know,
now also the all this kind of rolls into something else I want to talk about, but the white woman in Central Park in New York that called the police on the bird watching guy because he asked her to put a leash on her dog. And clearly in the video, it's in a section of Central Park called the Ramble. And in the Ramble, there's a strict law that says all dogs must be on leashes. And the man just pretty much told her, look, put a leash on your dog, you know, and she refused to do it. And so he started recording her. And when he started recording her, that's when we hear the dialogue. And she clear as day say, if you don't stop recording me, I'm going to call the police and tell them you're threatening my life. What kind
No. She said, I'm going to tell them an African-American man is threatening my life.
Sorry, you're correct. You are correct.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
Right.
And her ass, I'm glad she lost her fucking job. All that shit.
All right. And the place that she got the dog from took the dog back from her ass. They want to take the dog back. That's so funny. But
unfit.
The problem I have with this is this whole attack on black men thing. It's not new. This isn't nothing new. It's been going on for ages, since slavery been around. My problem with it is that we're in 2020. We have been a nation under a pandemic over the past 2 months or so. And it's been all this talk about coming together and unity and all this other shit, right? And quite honestly, I kind of felt it. I kind of felt like this whole country has been going through something. Let's all get through it together type of, feel. But as soon as they say we can get back outside, shit went right back to normal. Everything went right back to what the fuck it was prior to all this pandemic, like immediately. And that bothers me. That bothers me that it's so easy. We are so low on the totem pole in their eyes. It's so easy for them to jump right back into it. And like you say, even worse, even more blatant, even more in your face. I don't give a fuck. I'm saying it in camera. I'ma say it. And one thing I say this to you, Rex, last night. I'm like, she knows she was being recorded, yet she still felt safe enough to say that into the camera. And Rex, what did you say to me? You said that was her privilege. She didn't believe anything.
Her white privilege, dog. That's right.
She felt like even though you recorded me, I can still get away with the shit.
I can still get you, nigga. How about that? And right on cue, she started crying and bawling like that, like the man been attacking her right then.
Right on cue, bro. That shit is infuriating, man. It's infuriating.
And it's so crazy, man, because they know in this age right now they can get away with that shit.
Now, if he had that video, what would have happened to him?
He probably would get dusted
off. You already know what would have happened, man.
He probably would get dusted off like Mr. Floyd.
Police would have come out there, shake that man up, do all kind of fuck shit to the man like that. That shit is deeply infuriating. I just don't know what to do, man. It's something got to be done. Understand? We ain't gonna take this shit for too much longer, bro. For real. I don't think black people is gonna sit on their hands on this type of shit for much longer.
You know all that shit come from? That damn pyramid, bro. They had all the racial, you know what I'm saying, the complexions and everything on there, your hierarchy and all that stuff. Dark-skinned people always was ranked, man. The darker your skin, the lower you were on that totem pole, bro.
Knock my ass, man. Black people, bro. Black people. Period. That shit.
No. It's dark, but I'm just going by what I get what you're saying, but I was just saying that all that shit started with that, because the shit just don't come from that. It comes from, you got white people that hate you no matter who you are. If you ain't white, they don't give a fuck about you. And it's like that in all the, you know what I'm saying, the Dominican Republic and all the other countries too. Not countries, but all the other areas also. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you light skin or fair skin or whatever, you know, they'll kind of talk to you or whatever like that, but they still don't fucking like you. But you feel that complexion feels like they are now, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, we can bump with them, like we here. Then you got another complexion that's darker than them, they treat them bad, you know what I'm saying, and it go all the way down. Everybody, just like it is in real life, all the way down, even with black people, I wish we would fucking stop that shit, light skin, dark skin shit. All the way down, you're just gonna get treated like shit. All that shit come from all of that too. All that shit come from all of that.
I do want to talk about that. However, what I want to, for the sake of this particular conversation, topic rather, what I want to focus on is it against black people, because I saw one of those things that I had, one of 24 people, there was a Mexican or maybe Puerto Rican, a Hispanic woman that claimed 2 black men robbed her and kidnapped her son, and her autistic son, and killed him. But it found out she killed her son.
Yeah,
she was gonna blame 2 black men.
They got a stupid ass on video.
So my whole thing about this is this attack on black men. Like, I don't understand why it's so easy for everybody to believe that we were the bad person in every one of these scenarios.
You just said it right there, because you just said it yourself, because it's so easy. We the easiest.
Why though?
You don't remember that? You remember that little test?
Asking why, but you already know why.
This inferiority complex that they have about the fact that they realize they're not better, and they want to keep their literal foot on our neck to keep us under this shit. Listen, man, this is gonna be over after a while, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Sooner or later, if this shit like this keep happening, we're not gonna make it to 2025 like this, bro. We're not gonna make it to 2025 like this. That's how I feel.
It's gonna be a whole civil war. It's gonna be a whole racial war.
The revolution will be televised, man. I'm trying to tell you.
I keep telling y'all that is not gonna happen, dog. That is not gonna happen. So y'all gonna forget.
I disagree, man. I disagree.
They ain't did that shit in the 60s. They ain't did that shit in the 70s. They damn sure ain't did it in the 80s and 90s, dog. You are not gonna see no type of civil war, racial war, anything like that, because a lot of these brothers and sisters, they don't want to raise no arms up against these type of people that putting them through this type of tyranny or whatever. They rather punish their own people. So as far as that dream that y'all hoping for and wishing for, and hoping that all black people get together and rise up and do this and that to these white folks, y'all can forget that, dog.
So you don't believe that black people can unify? That's what you're saying?
Hell no. We got a long way off from that.
That's disheartening to hear from you, man.
So we ain't got no UNIT.
That's the real. And I'll tell you why. Because
I disagree.
But just like how we've been talking last night, Prime, I ain't saying that it's not possible to happen. I saying that I don't believe it's gonna happen in our lifetime or even in our kids' lifetime. Because we're not going so far down the road the wrong way. We got to turn around and go back. and then start over. You gotta look at what's going on too, because like I tell you last night, we've been talking. It's all about hearts and minds. We don't get past sitting at the counter and sitting at the front of the bus. We got to make them believe and know that we know how to act in this society and in this country. We know how to build each other up. We can help each other out. As long as they see each other, keep cutting us down and doing the shit that we keep doing to each other, they laughing at us right now. They've been laughing at us since the 50s and the 60s, and they still laughing. Rap music came through and tried to change the game. Them boys snatched that from us, and now they laughing at rap. They used to be scared of rap music. Every rap album used to have a parental advisory sticker, dog. Even
They still scared of rap music.
Had a parental advisory sticker on their shit at one time, man. I've been like, Kid and Play got a thing. I said, y'all scared of Kid and Play? They used to be scared of rap, but they ain't scared of rap no more because they know rappers ain't saying nothing. Ain't nobody
they scared of real rap.
Yeah, but I mean,
they still scared of rap.
Them boy ain't saying that. Them boy ain't talking no real or trying to uplift their people. Most of the music
the
you hear right
they
now, most of the music you hear right now on the radio, telling these kids to sell dope, do drugs, and all kind of ignorant shit, dog.
The people that they promote,
that, man.
The people that they promote.
Okay, so
yeah, they still scared of real rap. They died, but the people that they promote, they ain't scared of that.
All right, now that kind of what you just said is now, Rex. That really does lead me into the next thing I wanted to really kind of like dig into. For real.
I told you I'm the segue master, dog. Boom.
Was the conversation that we started having about how people were raised. And one of the things that sparked that conversation, and I'm piggybacking on what you just said, was when we saw the thing that happened in Myrtle Beach over Memorial Day weekend with I think it was like 3 shootings in 8 days down in Myrtle Beach. Also, they had the 71-year-old grandma that was killed trying to break up a fight between her granddaughter and another group of girls. The dude that was killed down, I think it was a Cross, right? Over a car game. What it lead to was the question of how people raised love versus survival, and how the different way people were raised kind of help dictate how people are at an adult age, and good or bad. It could be good or bad. You know, there's good. The good thing about being raised with love is you know how to love. You know how to take care of one another. You know how to look out for one another. The bad thing about being with love is you may not have the survival skills when times are tough or trying to face real situations, or adverse situations. I'll say it like that. And on the other side, survival is great. Being raised with survival because you learn how to take care of yourself and how to look out for yourself and grow. However, you always on guard, and as you get older and you don't learn how to love, you don't know how to let people in and how to take care of other people. So it's kind of a give and take avenue. And I want to before I say something, I want to hear what Hannibal got to say about love, being raised with love versus survival.
All right, so I feel like everything that we get when we're growing up, it's all it's like we're a meal being prepared. You know what I'm saying? You want this amount of portion of this, amount of portion of this, amount of portion of this, all to be added up so we can have a complete meal. I feel like if you don't get an equal amount of love as you do survival instinct, then you're either gonna be too soft, or you're never gonna know what you might be really good at this area, but you're never gonna know what it's like to survive, like to put yourself out there to go out there to go get this, or be a go-getter to go get this, and in an aspect where you'll put your life on the line to protect what you love. All you'll know how to do is love. You won't know how to fight. And just like you said before, if you're a survivor and you taught how to do is survive, you'll always be on guard. But we all gonna need everything equal so that now you may have some that have more survivor in them, what to do, you know what I'm saying, that came up on the street a little bit more. But a lot of people nowadays, they got that in them, but they were raised with a lot of love too. The love might not be in the same eye as me and you look at it, but it still was love for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It still kept them on the grounded level. Or you may have those that got love, but you know what I'm saying, you can't mistake them. It's more so of that. But in those instances, like those guys in Myrtle Beach, dog, you felt so savage and ruthless that you were willing to shoot and take another person's life in the midst of thousands of other people. I don't know how many people. I don't know how many people went to Myrtle Beach for Black Backwards Weekend. I don't know why the hell you would go
why
out.
the fuck you even there?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, this weekend. But all these other people that's out there, you don't give two shits about them. All your thing is, all your single track mind is tracked on is, he got on a color shirt and he repping a set that I don't like, so I gotta kill him.
Right. Okay, Rex. Well, you got to say, Rex, what's your 2 cents?
I mean, as far as growing up in love and growing up as a survivor, being taught or whatever, I think for Black folks, for us, it's tied in, it's intertwined, because we get our love through them showing us how to survive. Because they done come down a rough road, and they trying to show us the best way they can, and at the same time they want us better. Like back in the day, we used to get way more whoopings than kids get now. And now people are joking, be like, well, damn, that been child abuse. But, kind of in a way, it really was child abuse. But at the same time, when you get put in a situation where you don't know how to do things or whatever, you try to piece everything together by yourself. So you try to do the best you can with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at the same time when, single moms trying to show their sons love and how to survive, it's all intertwined because they ain't got nobody to help them to show them how to be a man. So they got to find their way to try to mold this dude into being a man without being a man yourself. That's hard to do. And I ain't know, man. I mean, I think it's intertwined. Some people think, you can only be one way or the other. But I think for us, for Black folks, we got to intertwine that together, because just like how we've been talking about a couple of minutes ago, your son or your daughter, they can go out here today or tomorrow and they might not come back.
Yeah.
So at the same time, while you're teaching them certain things, and kids won't do their own thing. Sometimes you might tell them, hey, you don't go here, don't go there, whatever. And you hard-headed, so you're going to go anyway, and something might happen or whatever.
We all did that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a balancing act. And for us as Black folks, I think with the tools we given, we do it the best. And it ain't easy or ordinary or whatever, but it's something special.
My personal feeling, you've been done, right, Rex?
Oh yeah. I take the long pause. Yeah, you got it.
You've been done. So all right. So like my personal feeling, man. Like for one, like piggybacking a little bit off what Hannibal said. We've been on this pandemic, stay in the house, shit, whatever, for a couple months now, and you get back out. They say, hey, things are opening up. You get back out. It's Memorial Weekend. You go to the beach, and I can't put it together why while you enjoying this freedom to be out, you at the beach, seeing some women around, having a good time with your boys or whatever, and you just why is it any room for your thought of killing another nigga? I don't understand why that's even something that would come in your mind process, thought process or whatever. And even with the thing with the 70-year-old grandma, like you already jumped the girl.
Yeah, we got to touch on that though.
And then you wait and go to jump her again while she with her grandmama. And when the grandmama trying to break it up, I don't even understand why you felt the need to kill that lady. I don't understand that. Now, I don't know the details of all that, but what I'm getting at is this idea of being raised on survival is just, you got to have a balance. Survival is very important, but what we teaching our kids to survive through is, or what some people are teaching their kids to survive through, is just too much. it's too much. I get it. Like you know, like Rex, you know, we grew up in Charleston.
Yeah.
Charleston was a rough city growing up in. You couldn't go on certain blocks if you wasn't from the neighborhood, and things like that nature. Like it was kind of rough growing up in Charleston. However, I still think that there was a decent amount of balance for a lot of people. Like there was a lot of love being shown with people from certain elders and things like that. And I think our generation, personally, dropped the ball. Like when we were coming up, it was a big absence of fathers, so it was just mothers. Single mothers raising kids, a lot of boys. And while they give them love, they had to teach them to be tough because it was rough out there.
Teaching out of fear, bro.
That very much so. And growing up and having to encounter whatever the streets had to offer, you had to develop survival skills. I think a lot of people developed those skills on the go. You know, it wasn't just taught in the home. They might have developed it on the go. But you know, our generation failed because only thing we really knew was the survival aspect. I said it was a mixture, but we in the streets or whatever, what's the word I'm trying to we developed that survival aspect, and that's all we passed on. We didn't pass on the love that we got from mothers because we were expecting the women to do that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't think we passed on enough love to our kids, man. Our generation to the next generation. I don't want to say our kids, but I want to say our generation to the next generation that came right behind us. I don't think we passed on enough love to them because they have this survival thing where they feel like they have to be real or they have to be the man or they got to be hard or, you know.
That ain't survival.
That's
that ain't
always
survival.
been there, though.
Yeah, that ain't survival though. That ain't no survival tactic in that right there. That's
the idea of survival. Let me say that. The idea of survival.
Yeah, that's a defense mechanism, man. Okay because for one, just like how you've been talking about the elderly lady, you know, getting shot. That's a respect factor. And that's one of the things I see a lot today. That a lot of young kids don't respect older folks no more.
You don't respect
just like how right, yeah. You know, just like how back in the day, listen, you couldn't get me to try no older dude or even an older lady for that fact because I had too much respect for that. I wouldn't put myself out there for like that. It's like some of these parents nowadays, man, and we know a lot of assholes growing up. Think about that now. Everybody not going to school with somebody that just cause trouble every day. Once you see that dude or girl, you be like, oh man, this nigga here, he gonna start some shit to deal with it. Them people are parents now. And they teaching their kids some of the same ignorant shit that they've been taught.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bad guidance.
Exactly. But they're teaching it even worse now because now these kids so angry and they so accessible to guns and all type of weapons right now so easily. They can lose control quick and snap off. A lot of these kids don't mean to do what they do. Just like I'm pretty sure, you know, that young lady, she probably wanted to hurt that older lady or whatever, but she didn't want to kill nobody. And the worst thing about that now is she got to live with that.
Sometimes I don't think these kids understand the ramifications of the actions.
No, bro. She shot her in the head. She knew what the fuck she was doing.
I don't think they understand. They got it in the head that I'm so gangster. I'm willing to do anything to protect my rep or to let a motherfucker know that I ain't about that fuck shit. Whatever the case is, whatever the reason is for proving whatever they want to prove, they really, really believe in that shit because they don't have an outlook for anything else. All they know is I have to survive. This is the only way I know how to survive. Fuck all that love shit you talking.
So I was just sitting here thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying now? What Rex saying is right. The teaching you how to survive is love. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people do it with love. Some people do it, you know, maybe that's the only way they know how to love or whatever. But piggyback on what y'all was saying, a lot of, you gotta think about where all this stuff started though, man. Like even with gangs, it wasn't even about the violence, bro. It's about policing your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was out in their neighborhood and they needed help, we'll help them out. That's how all that started.
Yeah.
What it evolved into, this is just a continued evolution of everything that's going on. Now look, and you say you don't think this generation, you think this generation dropped the ball. I don't think this generation dropped the ball. I think what happened was all the tactics of teaching out of fear for the single parents, teaching out of fear, it just evolved into whatever it is now. It's something that's been going on forever. Cause yeah.
I mean, I still I understand what you're saying, but I still think it was we had an opportunity. Our generation had an opportunity to correct it. Because here's why I say that.
Because our generation's still in that stage right now. Well, a lot of our generation, they just now becoming parents.
That's what I'm getting at. Because a lot of us, I'm speaking from my POV, and I think I can speak for a lot of people in my generation. We didn't grow up with fathers. Like when I was a kid, none of my friends had fathers. Nobody had a daddy. You know what I mean? And now all the people, all us have kids. We're fathers to our kids. We're actively fathers in our kids' lives. And the generation that grew up without fathers because of in the 70s, because of drugs and 80s, whatever the case may be. But now that we're fathers, we're actively fathers. But even though we knew when we had kids what kind of parents we were going to be, active parents, the kids that were in the neighborhood or that were looking up to us or coming up behind us, we didn't teach them the shit we teach our kids. We were just teaching them, hey man, if you want to survive in these streets, man, this is what you got to do. You got to do all this shit to survive in the streets.
You know why we was teaching them that? Because the generation that came behind us, they was right there with us.
And that was our opportunity to show them something different.
But we didn't know, because you can't say growing up without fathers, because man, dudes been growing up without fathers for years. Niggas been leaving forever.
Not in the 60s, they wouldn't.
Nigga, you crazy. Niggas was gone.
It wasn't. What I mean is, I'm not saying everybody had a father.
Niggas been abandoning
the percentage of fathers that were present in family lives in the 60s was a way higher before, but then it was in the 70s and especially in the 80s. The 80s was like dismal, and I'm speaking more so from a Black community perspective than a nationwide perspective. But the absentee father was a stablemate in the late 70s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I say not having a father was typical.
So are you gonna blame that on just, not having a father, or are you gonna put some of that onus on the system also? For how,
of course,
how it's structured.
Systemic racism. Systemic racism
was so the breakdown of everything was when those slave women were raped, they blamed the fathers for not helping them. But when in reality, the fathers were held against their will to watch what happened. So this teaching of fear has been going on for forever. So what they took with that system that they were using back then, they put in the system, let's say, they had drugs come around. There'd been a lot of children that they grew up with each parent, a lot of fathers that were incarcerated around that time, and they grew up. And so, let's say just take the incarceration. You got those mothers who or those kids that don't have a father. Now they're teaching their kids out of fear. This, that, here, and you're telling them, oh, you ain't got those, oh, you can't dream this big because your daddy never got out of here. So this is where you're gonna be, but you need to do it this way. You're just teaching them out of fear. And then you move along, then you put in let's say child support. You know what I'm saying? They put that into play, and it's a lot of moms, you know what I'm saying, that use that as a weapon. Now, it's a lot of single parent households where the father isn't present when that ain't got to be the case. You get what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that systemic racism doesn't have any part in it. However, systemic racism.
I'm not saying systemic racism got a part. I'm saying the biggest part in it is fear. Being taught out of fear. The mothers teaching out of fear. The fear, or even the fathers and the mothers in the homes teaching out of fear.
Yeah, but the point that I'm getting at is that we had an opportunity to do something to change the slate, just like we're taking an active role in changing the slate in our children. We didn't do that for the younger generation that came right behind us. We didn't give them the same advice and the same knowledge that we're giving to our kids. I don't know why that is.
Because we're now.
You know why that is, bro? Because if it ain't your people, then they don't care. That's exactly how it is, dog.
I don't think we being good OGs.
What I'm saying is, now we're in that generation. We're in that time slot now where we are the teachers, and that's why I'm arguing against you is that this generation, they're just now getting into that time frame where you are the teachers. And look at this generation now. More people are willing to speak up, to voice their opinion about, hey, this shit wrong, and we tired of this shit. That's the generation that's here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put that on his own. Yeah, well, y'all older than me. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what it is. All I know is my generation. We speaking up more, and we're looking more back like, oh, we're the teachers. Now we trying to teach. Now, what we weren't taught, but now we know this stuff. Now we trying to pass it along and teach it. So hopefully that trickle down. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say this generation is the worst at that. I would say this generation just now getting to that mode. The
generation that came, the generation that, like, I don't know if I should say your generation. I want to say the generation that came after us. And the one after them, because I'm speaking two generations after me.
I mean, I was born in '84, man. Hush.
Exactly, Hannibal, we're younger than us. Hell yeah, you can say yeah.
No, because in my generation, we more like took technology onto a whole nother level. We just now getting into that teacher. We just now getting into that teacher phase where we reaching back and like, hey.
That's what I'm getting at. The information age made it a lot easier for us to share that information with more of the masses. I'll say it like that. We didn't have a way to communicate with a larger group of people. However, I still believe that when we were kids, I'll speak for myself. I don't speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself. When I was a kid and my daddy wasn't around, I knew I didn't want to be a parent like that. I knew that I didn't want to be a parent that wasn't involved, that wasn't in my kid's life. That's just not what I wanted. So, but when it came to kids in the neighborhood and this, that, and the third, I wasn't thinking about the future for them. I was thinking about right now for them. Hey man, if you want to make it through the end of the day, man, this is what you need to be doing to make it to the end of the day. We dropped the ball as far as not giving them information to make it through the end of their life, not just the end of the day, the week, the month, or whatever.
Well, how can you say you dropped the ball when you just now getting into the teacher's age? You can't say you dropped.
The reason I say I dropped the ball is because I knew what I wanted. If I know what I wanted for my kids aren't. I care about any children. Like if you hurt any kid, I feel some type of way. Not just my kid, but I knew then what I wanted for my kids, but I didn't think so much what was needed for other kids. You know what I'm saying? When I should have been paying attention to all kids.
That onus ain't on the generation then. That's on the generation ahead of you.
Yeah, it is.
That's my generation. That's me. If I'm old enough for people to listen to what I have to say, of people looking up to me and saying, hey man, what should I do about something? And that's my call for me to direct them in the direction they should go in.
Yeah, that's your job. That's your responsibility.
What age frame you talking about?
I'm talking about early 20s. mainly like up to about 30. From 20, I'll say from 20 to 30. That's
See,
what
I'm
I'll say.
gonna tell you right here, in your early 20s, dog, you don't even know who the fuck you are. So how can you put that on there? You just now, you don't get into that teacher age till you hit like your 30s. We can really give back your knowledge. What happened was a lot of people.
I ain't know about that one, dog. I ain't know about that one.
Bro, well, I'm just saying,
my
like,
first kid
a lot
was
of people,
25.
you can't say your early 20s.
But I'm saying
from my early 20s to 25, I was reckless. After that, I don't know, it's something like a light click. I just started, but I was already giving knowledge back, but I wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I agree with the idea. Oh, go ahead, Rex.
I just been telling Hannibal he's still reckless now. What are you talking about, man? Let me tell you something.
Dog.
It take a long time to slow down. It take a long.
No, it don't. It don't take me a long time to cool. When I'm pissed off, I'm pissed off.
I ain't talking about being pissed off, man. I talking about your mannerism as you get older. That's what I talking about, man.
No, it didn't take me a long time.
I talk about evolving. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead. Because you're talking about this, so I'm about to give you a speech.
I talking about and I about to shut that down. I talking about evolving and getting better with age, dog. That's what I talking about. You don't really do that at 30 or even 35, dog. You start thinking about that shit at 40, and then that's just like hitty precipice, and then go downhill after that. What Prime talking about is telling them youngsters, I think for me, from age 15 to even 30, because that's a 15-year gap. And I always tell my son, think about things in decades, son. From 1 to 10, you learn a whole lot. From 10 to 20, you become from a little boy to a man. At that time, at 20, you got to start figuring out what you want to do, how you want to do it or whatever. If you haven't been taught that from at least from 8 to at least 17, you fucked. Because just like Hannibal said a little while ago, you lost. You don't really know who you are, what you want to do. So it should be good for an older fella to look out, and if he can see a dude like that. That's why I like good mentoring programs for some of these boys and girls, whatever. Because a lot of them lost, just like how we've been talking about, and that one story with that grandmama just stuck in my head, though, because I always think about my grandma and how people used to respect her back in the day. You know, ain't been none of that loud talking or whatever. You could be cussing and carrying on the block, but once you see her coming walking down that street or whatever, everything shut down. You don't see that nowadays, dog. These kids don't even get out your way when you walking down the street. They'll walk into a room with adults and not even speak. You couldn't do that. That's why I've been talking about earlier with the respect factor and teaching these kids how to be respectful instead of being disrespectful towards adults.
And what I meant, Hannibal, about that 20 to 30 age is about being in a position to have the ball to pass on. Is that yeah, you're right. Well, from 20 to 25, I mean, shit, 20 to 35, I might have been reckless. But you know, when I was 25, I had my first kid, and when I had my first kid, I was like, I put it in my brain that I didn't want to do anything to fuck up not being there for the child or fuck up their growth, right? It's something switched in my mind. And that's at 25, right? Now, prior to that, I might have been reckless because I only think about myself. However, I knew even before my kid was born, I knew I didn't want to be a deadbeat dad. I didn't want to be a shitty mentor or person. But I only thought about that as far as my children, what came from me was concerned. I didn't put any forethought into the other kids in the neighborhood. Only thing I cared about is whether or not you make it through the day. I didn't give my advice as far as making it through your life. Huh?
Yeah, I think it's what we grew up, because, man, I just remember back when we was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man, you better go ahead and get your grades so you can go ahead and do this, because this is what's going to happen. We were already passing that along. You know what I'm saying? Like, little stuff like that. Like, man, go ahead and do this. You want to be on the football team, this is what they're going to tell you to do, and this is what you're going to do. Just go ahead and do it. You ain't got to worry about it. and don't be out here getting in trouble. We was already passing stuff like that along. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just the area that we grew up in. You know what I'm saying? But see, I was really heavy in sports too, so I always been one that want to see people make it. Like, hey man, you watch out for this. Oh man, coach coming, you know what I'm saying? Or this, that, and the third. Oh man, get your grades. Oh, hey, they got this going on over here. You can do this.
It could be environmental, because I mean, I didn't see a lot of that. I didn't like if you play sport, it doesn't matter. They still want you to come do some bad, dumb shit, even though you play sport.
Man, that's
like, man, fuck that practice, man. Come do this shit with us.
That's always been from the beginning of time that they did shit like that, though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
In that field. Fuck working in that field. Come on, ride with her.
When you in a position that younger kids are looking to you for guidance in some kind of way, it's your responsibility to point them in the right direction. If you point them in any direction other than the right one, you drop the ball in that. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. I feel like you dropped that ball because you had an opportunity to point that kid in a better direction, and you didn't do that. I've been guilty of that before. I've done a lot to change some of that. But I think our generation, for the most part, I'm not speaking for every single person in my generation, but I feel like the majority of our generation didn't do that very well. We may have been doing it now in our 40s. Like
you in your teacher age after you get past like 20, you're like your mid-20s or whatever. Like you really in your teacher age then. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think when you're in your 20s, that's the perfect time because they willing to listen to you because you closer to the age.
Around that time frame, a lot of people, they might be helping out all right, so let me put it like this. They may be helping out their peers or whatever that's coming behind them, but a lot of people, their goal is focusing on, oh, I just finished high school, oh, I got to finish college. Now I got to get this and get this. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why you feel like that. And that's why I say, like, after about your mid-20s, you really in the teacher age then when you really start, like, reaching out to the masses and pulling more people in. Where before, where you probably reached back and was like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got this for this test, or, you know what I'm saying? They doing a study hall over here, shit like this.
Yeah, but that's reaching a single person is just as important as reaching 100 people. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
The group of people don't make a difference. Even if let's say you might help one person every 3 months. That's just as important as somebody that helped 300 people every other week. You know what I mean? Just because you only talk to a small subset of people don't mean your whatever you're preaching or teaching isn't more poignant.
Yeah. What I guess what I'm going off of from my early 20s to about my mid 20s, you know what I'm saying? We would reach back and help, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew somebody was, you know, like they'll ask me about the Navy. Of course, I'm going to tell them, like, okay, you can come in the Navy, but this is what they're going to expect from you to do this, this, and this. But if you want to be successful, you're going to do this, 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 and this. I seen more of that, you know what I'm saying, in my time. And what I'm saying by that is like it's like you leveling up. Like you accomplish this, you accomplish this, you accomplish this. You like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You've been pulling people along and helping people out, but you ain't really been like really, really striving to do that. After, you know what I'm saying, after you get past a point by your mid-20s, after a while, you just like, that becomes something that you feed off of. Like you striving and you helping other people. Of course, you're still going to have people that's still going to always watch out for themselves. They're never going to change.
Rex, what you so quiet for?
I just listening to a great conversation, though. I mean, let's keep it rolling.
Because I think, like, all right, so like in my 20s, right? The reason why I think that 20 to 30 age really is like 20 to 25, to be honest, is important is because when you 16, 17, 18 years old, 19, you ain't listening to somebody that's 40 years old. You don't listen to that because you so far removed from what I deal with or I encounter on a day-to-day basis. You don't understand what I'm going through and I'm dealing with. And my current age and today's stuff. You was 19 before, but what you was doing at 19 ain't what I'm doing at 19.
No,
it can be very different.
At 25, what you were doing at 19, they ain't doing it. But at the same time, a lot of the 19-year-olds to the early 20s, they doing the same shit.
But that's why I'm saying they're willing to listen to somebody that's 25. An 18-year-old will listen to somebody that's 25 before they listen to somebody that's 40, because they feel like they're more relatable. Whether they are or aren't, they just feel like they're more relatable. And I think that at that age, me personally feel like my generation dropped that ball and didn't pass on the better knowledge to the next generation so that they know what to do with it.
I don't feel like that. I don't feel like that. I feel like more of the generation now that I'm in, from what I have seen, is been going just like I did, like it been going now. Like, okay, you might have helped out a couple of your peers, but you helped out your team that was around you or whatever. But now you're at an age where you really looking back, and you were giving to the community before, but now you really active in giving to the community. Right. You know, you really in it, and you really doing it for that reason. Like, you took that knowledge and stuff that you learned from your adolescent years and your late teen years to your mid-20s, when you taking those lessons and you kept building on top of that, and you keep going out and you keep going out here, and you get out here and you really do it. Because back in the day, a lot of people, when we were playing Little League football, a lot of those cats, you saw a lot of us, but it wasn't in the same sense. Now you see a lot more of us in that sense. Like, they out there with those little kids, and they not just teaching them football, they teaching them life lessons and stuff like
dudes,
that.
Yeah, black men,
yeah. They out there doing it. It's more so. That's why I don't feel like this generation has dropped the ball, because this generation is really out there reaching back, trying to get the kids to do the right way. Yeah, you're still going to have your bad apple, but it's a lot more that's really reaching back.
Yeah, I agree with you that I do believe that the generation, either the generation under me or the next one under me, is doing a much better job of passing on the better information.
Because when your birthday? What year?
90, how about I say 90? 79.
See, I was born in 84. So maybe that's why we looking at it different, because for me, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like a lot more of us are reaching back now. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been like, hey man, come on, I'm gonna give you, or it developed into, I'm gonna give you this information. Now you take what you want to do with it. But if you don't want to do it, I ain't gonna keep forcing you. You know, I ain't gonna keep forcing you. I done told you what to do.
And
you want to listen.
Personally, I do want to say, I don't want to act like there weren't people from my generation or even the one prior to mine that were trying. I don't want to make it seem like nobody was trying at all.
I know what you think. It's just more so.
Yeah, it wasn't enough. It wasn't as much. And I think nowadays we have more people trying. We need more, but there's a lot more people trying. However, there's a lot more people that didn't get enough of it before. Like I'm talking about, from the generation after me, is specifically what I'm speaking of, the generation after ours, that they didn't get. Because I think, would I be considering? I wouldn't be considering your generation, huh, Rex?
Yeah.
Y'all two were about being the same generation. You can always go by 5 or 10 years. So
5 or 10 years. Okay, so yeah, all right. So yeah, I personally think well, I don't know. That's just how I feel. I feel like, as far as survival versus love, we didn't do enough love giving to the generation after us. I don't think so. And I think that, like we started off saying, that balance is very, very necessary. It could be one more than the other, depending on the person, but they both need to be there. And it don't need to be it don't need to be an extreme difference. It just need to be a little small wavering difference.
It just need to just honestly be both, man. It need to just be both, just like how y'all been talking about earlier, like in the 60s from the 70s, you had more black families. Once the war ended, once the war ended and they brought drugs over here and they implemented the child support system, that divided everything up. So once you got brothers that ain't got no power and no standing, why would you listen to them? I mean, they ain't got no standing and no clout or whatever. Mom's got all the power. They don't give all the power to moms. Once they did all that in the early 70s, them boy devised that plan to divide us just like that.
Yeah.
And that's why you see
1975 to be exact, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's when the child support law was enacted. But and just like that, somehow you got to change the tide. Like Hannibal was saying, I do see everything, and the youngsters really doing a good job as far as giving their kids the right skills, knowledge, and stuff like that. But just like how Prime said too, on the other end, too many of them also that just dropping the ball and doing the wrong thing, teaching these kids the wrong things, because back in the day, you wouldn't have a bunch of little girls going up against somebody grandmama.
Yeah.
No matter how bad no matter how bad they want jumper or whatever. If that grandmama out there, you've been saved.
Stand
because
down.
They ain't never do nothing. Yeah, stand down because we don't want to hurt that old lady. We don't want to disrespect that old lady. Now, they don't give a fuck. Because their parents teaching them the wrong thing. They teaching them basically like, well, somebody say something to you, you jump in their face. That's why you see kids on videos jumping up in teachers' faces and grown-ups' faces and stuff like
respect,
that. You never see that, man, because they need their ass mopped up. But you can't do that nowadays because everything's different. So
no respect.
Just like how we've been talking about the police and why they keep doing what they're doing. If there's no accountability for these kids and their actions, and these parents ain't teaching them their self-control, they're gonna come at you like the Tasmanian devil and tear shit up.
Yeah, I think in conclusion, I guess you could say, about this particular thing, like I just said before, man, we really need to work on not work on. We need to do more. So, in terms of providing a balance when it comes to raising our kids with survival and love, it's just very important. Both are needed, and this idea of just giving the kids the survival tactics, it's hurting them. It's hurting our community as a whole.
Because love got a bad name now. When you hear about love, you think about something soft or weak or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they done changed again, man.
That was a deep one, man. That was a deep one, man. We digged in on that, man. Yeah, I'm gonna let Sleeping Dogs live for the rest of that. Maybe somebody else got another opinion, but I think I don't say we we can agree to disagree, Hannibal, as far as dropping the ball. But I think we both agree that both are needed.
Yeah, y'all had a good one going. That's why I've been sitting back and just listening. I'm like, damn, no boy getting it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. But that's that, man. That's all. That's the last topic, man. I don't want to drag that shit on for too long. I think we done beat that one a little bit. I think there's still more we can talk there, but I think we got to a point where we agree to disagree.
Just we good. We done run over time. Just see what you want to see. We done run over time.
The last thing I want to do, man, before we cut out of here, I do want to say a big shout out to all the Burke High School graduates that had the parade and ceremony. I think it was yesterday or Tuesday. The goddamn Bulldogs, baby.
Right.
Be up in your VHS. Class of 97, best class there ever was.
I just stop that. Just stop that. I ain't even gonna start. You know what? I ain't even gonna dignify that with a response, dog. How about that?
Class of 97, baby, we in ya. What's up, y'all, boy?
2002, baby.
We got the baby.
He's a millennial.
That's so cute. We dig it, big dog. We got you.
But like one thing I do want to, one last thing I want to do is, we love to promote Black businesses, or at least shout them out, so people to go check them out. I want to shout out Capra Leo's Catering Services by my classmate, a Burke High alumni, Tara Clay. You can catch her on Facebook and Instagram at Capra Leo's Catering. She does amazing food, man, amazing presentations, a lot of different type of dishes that you typically may not get at restaurant or with your other caterers. She also has a catering business and does private chef occasions as well. So y'all check her out, look her up. Capra Leo's Catering on by Tara Clay.
Okay, that's what's up.
Look it up.
Shout out to Tara Clay. Oh, she can cook, huh?
She cook, man. She throw down.
So next time I come up there,
Huh?
She up there?
No, matter of fact, she in Charleston right now.
Okay.
She in Charleston right now. She have a menu. It's not every single day. I believe it's usually on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, or Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Whenever you post this, post the website.
I'll tag that in there too. But she usually will put up a menu, say, "Hey, this gonna be the menu for tomorrow." They always look delicious. I've only been there once. But I will go back. It was good enough to go back. I just don't be in the city often enough. That's all.
Don't worry, people. I will give y'all a review. Oh yeah.
Check her out, man. Y'all check her out, man. Anything y'all want to say in closing?
Oh, you know what? Real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, Animal, because I knew you probably about to jump in there. To everybody giving John Boyega shit about his platform, sit your ass down.
Who the fuck is John Boyega?
You ain't supposed to do that, Prime. The dude from Star Wars, man. He's
Come on, man.
Yeah.
He came out and said he hate all races.
Yeah.
Like, he hate them all.
Who the fuck is John Boyega?
The dude from the Star Wars movie.
The black dude. One. The black dude.
The recent one.
Oh, okay. The new Star Wars stuff.
He was in the second Pacific Rim.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, what he say now?
He said he hate all races.
And you say you don't want people. You want people to leave him alone, Rex?
The people who giving him shit about his platform because he said it's a reason. Yeah, it's a reason why he said that. But they giving him shit talking about basically you ain't big enough. You ain't no real star. Sit your ass down.
And you want to tell the people to sit their ass down?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. My bad.
Get him with it, Brian.
Yeah, he's a bigger star than you. So sit your ass down.
Hit him with it, Brian.
I mean, to be honest, is he that big of a star?
I guess you don't think so.
Hey, I don't give a damn how big your star is. You came out and said something against it. That's what you're supposed to do.
1.38 million followers.
Seems pretty goddamn big to me.
Yeah, pretty big.
That's a lot of people. I don't even think I got 200. So
listen, man, he been the only black dude in a new Star Wars movie that ain't died, dog. Come on now.
Nah, that's true, bro. Oh, Sam L ain't died. Oh, he did die.
Yeah. They bumped Sam L out.
I lie.
You know Sam L died a lot now. Y'all might not want to admit that shit, but he died a lot in movies.
Well, all the people that jumping on John Boyega, sit your ass the fuck down.
Sit your ass down.
And in the voice of Samuel L. Jackson, motherfucker.
See, we getting better.
Y'all got anything else y'all want to close out with before we chime out?
Man, I just hope everybody have a good week. Go into and have a good weekend. Hope everybody continue to stay safe. Wear your mask. Wear your proper PPE. Wash your hands. Please continue to practice good hygiene, man.
Yeah, most def. Real quick before we go, I went to Walmart.
Please don't stop now.
I went to Walmart earlier today, and as I've been leaving Walmart now, I got this thing. You remember before all the stuff, you could go in or out through the exit or entrance doors. Didn't matter. You can go through anywhere. Yeah. Well, now since all the stuff, you have to go in through the entrance and you have to exit out the exit side. The exit side don't even open if you try to go in through it. So as I'm walking out, there was a older white lady. She was in like one of them little buggy things you ride around. Mm-hmm. She was in one. I guess she was trying to return it, and she was trying to come in through the exit side, and it wouldn't open. And as I'm walking out, I'm looking right at her, and she's just sitting there. She ain't try to back off and try to do something else. She's just sitting there. So I walk out. She say, as the door opened, as I'm coming through, she said, "Oh, so I guess it don't want to open for me." I said, "No shit, it's the fucking exit."
I knew you been rude.
I was mad, man. I was like, "Why the fuck you been trying to come in this way?" It's like, "No shit, it's the fucking exit."
Man.
Yeah,
I was like, dumbass. I ain't tell her she's a dumbass. But I was like, "You dumbass." That shit was just funny.
Get your ass down. Hey.
But anyway, man, that has been this episode of Primarily Speaking, man. Love versus survival. We need them both. I want to thank my co-host Rex. I want to thank co-host Hannibal Vanderbilt up in the building. Till next week. We see y'all motherfuckers next time, man.
No doubt, man. Y'all boy, hold
Deuces.
it down to the next time. Come back. Gotta do like some.
That's right. Come back.
Come back. Yeah, I'm gonna start roughing up the fans that we got, man. Tell them to come back and tell a friend.
Yeah, tell them, goddamn it. Tell a friend and tell a friend, goddamn shit. What do you want to say? Rate, review, subscribe. Oh, I ain't even tell them all to catch us up, man. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram at Primarily Speaking, PRIMERILY Speaking, no spaces, underscores, or dashes. All at your folk, man. Drop your 2 cents, man. If you got something you want us to talk about, man, we talk about that shit too. It don't matter, man.
Catch us on YouTube too, though.
Damn, I keep forgetting about the YouTubers.
Don't worry.
YouTube
We
too,
get better.
man.
We got you. We got you. We gonna clean it up. We gonna clean it up.
Till next time, man. We up out you.
All right, man.
Peace.